I'm Mark Dolan, and this is Headliners, your first look at tomorrow's papers. Tonight, in the company of the brilliant comedians, two good friends of mine, Josh Howie and Diane Spencer. Before we kick off, let's have a look at tomorrow's front pages, and we start with the Daily Mail. And they lead with the following: Vigil for Mama, a king's solemn duty. Charles stands by his mother's coffin alongside his siblings in the sombre silence of Westminster Hall earlier this evening. Next up, we'll go to the Daily Telegraph, who have devotion to duty. Thousands endure 24-hour queue to honour the Queen's lifetime of service as King and his siblings stand vigil. The Independent next, 24-hour queue for a moment of history. A steady stream of mourners waiting to see the Queen's coffin. Yesterday, of course that refers to earlier today, despite warnings of cold weather. Blimey, it's not that cold, is it? I'd argue it's positively tropical for mid-September. The Guardian next. Saudi prince's visit is a stain on the Queen's memory, and David Beckham joins 13-hour queue for Queen's lying in state. FT weekend. Pound hits 37-year low against the dollar. Retail sales data deepen recession fears. Sterling breaches the $1.14 mark. Euro also records gains. So our currency getting a bit of a kicking at the moment. But let's not panic, shall we? The Times. King's fears over cost of living crisis. The King has expressed concerns over the cost of living crisis and promised to protect religious diversity in a signal of some of his priorities. Silence speaks volumes. Queen's children stand vigil at her coffin in emotional end to week of national mourning. Meanwhile, The Sun, King and country say farewell. King Charles and the people of Britain came together last night at His Majesty's vigil by the coffin of the Queen. The public filing through Westminster stood to pay their respects. It was an amazing experience and such a privilege, said one onlooker. And the Daily Star. The QE2, mourners queuing to pay respects to Her Majesty, form a second massive queue to join the first massive queue. Quintessentially British. And those are your front pages.